The next is to ensure that the licensing framework today is a little cumbersome and complicated. So this will also be simplified so that the spread of communication increases. So this is one of the important objectives of this policy. Strive to create one nation, one license across services and service area. Today, a mobile operator operates only in a particular state. For example, Tamil Nadu or Kerala, he is given license only to operate in Kerala. If he wants to operate in Tamil Nadu, he has to take another license. If he wants to operate in West Bengal, he has to take another license. So we are thinking of giving him one license and say you can operate in the whole country, which is today not there. This is one of the major objectives of this. This will simplify matters for the government as well as simplify matters for the service provider. Because he has to just get one license, he'll be allowed to operate throughout the country. Next is achieve one nation full mobile number portability and work towards one nation free roaming. As most of you are aware, if you have a connection, say in Tamil Nadu and go to Andhra Pradesh, your incoming calls there are charged. That is, you are supposed to be roaming in Andhra Pradesh, and therefore your incoming calls in Andhra Pradesh are charged. And when you make an outgoing call from Andhra Pradesh, you are likely to be charged more than when you make a call from Chennai or Tamil Nadu. This is called roaming. So when we say we want to work towards, first is of course full number portability. I'll finish roaming, come to number portability. So we want to make it one nation free roaming, which means if you have a connection of Tamil Nadu and go to West Bengal, whatever calls you receive in West Bengal will not be charged. That means your incoming calls in West Bengal will not be charged. That is free roaming. Okay. Outgoing calls from West Bengal may be at a different rate than your local rates. It is possible. This is about one nation free roaming. It is there in several countries like United States and others. It is already there that whichever part of United States you are there, you are not charged for incoming calls which you receive from some other state. Similarly, this is one of the policies, and this has already been implemented by one of the operators, which is Aircel. He says if you travel and use my network in some other state, you will not be charged for your incoming calls while you are roaming. Next is full number portability. Number portability is where you change your operator and retain the same number. For example, Chennai, if you have an Vodafone number, you want to shift to BSNL, you can use Vodafone number and shift to BSNL, start using BSNL's network, your number will be same. That is number portability. Today it is allowed only within the state. So we want to make that also available throughout the country. That means if you are in Tamil Nadu today, go to Gujarat tomorrow, you will be able to retain that number in Gujarat also. At the same time, you will be able to change the operator also. You may be a Vodafone customer in Gujarat, you can become a Bharti Airtel customer in Tamil Nadu, for example. You can change the operator as well as retain the same number throughout the country. This is one of the major objectives, which I think our minister has announced that probably by October this year, he wants to introduce at least free roaming within the country. So next is to reposition the mobile from a mere communication device. As I said, it is today being used mainly for voice, SMS, and probably a little of video. So that empowers the citizen not only for this voice and SMS and video, but also helps him to communicate fully and do financial transactions or other transactions like telemedicine, education, health, etc. This is another thing we want to do. Encourage development of mobile phones based on open standards platform. Today you will find that it is either an Android phone or a Nokia. Most of them are dominated by not open standard operating systems. So we want to encourage open system platforms for the mobile devices also. Next is, there is a convergence of today voice, data, video and TV also. Which means on the same device, on your say cable pair which comes to you or on the wireless device, you can get voice, data, video as well as TV. So the broadcasting services will also come into this spectrum. So that is why we are saying converged services, which includes broadband also. The future, the mobile device will be used not only for your talking, etc., or doing your data communications, it will also be used for viewing your TV channels. Put in place a simplified merger and acquisition. Today you will find that there are a number of operators, there are I think about 12 operators in Mumbai, for example. So in a competitive environment, it's very difficult for 12 operators to survive. So we are thinking that there will be some mergers and acquisitions will take place. And we want to simplify the procedure so that consolidation happens in the sector. At the same time, it should not happen that there are only 2 or 3 operators and then they start dictating the prices. Then it will no longer be affordable. So they'll make a compromise between the number of operators who should be present to ensure that there is fair competition. At the same time, ensure that operators survive in a multi operator environment. So some policies will be made to ensure that mergers and acquisitions are simplified. Because this has become necessary, as you are aware, the Supreme Court cancelled a number of licenses, saying that the policies have not been followed properly. So with the result, some operators are wanting to sell and go away. So today the merger and acquisition policy is a little tight. It is strict actually. So we want to simplify that, ensure that these operators or some other operator buys them and the service to the customers continues. Today, about 10 to 20% of the revenues of a telecom operator is coming from VAS is called value-added services. Which means he gives you a ringtone, he gives you, or he gives you some jokes, or he sends you news, or he gives you location-based services. All these are charged as value-added services. So we feel that this will increase and more revenues will start coming from the value-added services. So we want to promote this sector also. Make sure that this is a global hub for value-added services. Now you'll find that there are several operators who have spectrum, but they don't have enough customers, which means that the spectrum which is available to them is not being utilized fully or properly. So we want to set up an auditing of the spectrum and ensure that spectrum is utilized properly. The policy also talks of spectrum trading, spectrum pooling, and spectrum sharing. So all the three will be permitted. So in case you have surplus spectrum and you feel that your competitor requires some spectrum, you will be allowed to share that spectrum with that operator on mutual understanding terms. Next is delicensing additional frequency bands for public use. There is something called an unlicensed band in the spectrum, this one, which is used for your, say, Wi-Fi or your remote, which you use in your houses. So a number of frequency bands which are unlicensed, which anybody can use. So we feel that a number of applications will come in the unlicensed band also. So we want to add some more frequency bands to the unlicensed band, which means you don't require a license to operate services in that band. There are already several bands. Some more bands will be added so that some more applications could be done. For example, RFID is an application which uses the unlicensed frequency band. So several applications which will use the unlicensed band will come up. So we want to delicense some more additional frequency for this. Okay, now those who are in the electrical engineering or communications department know that today there's something called fixed mobile conversion. That means when I'm talking outside, I use my mobile. The moment I come into this room, if this has got a fixed connection, then automatically the connection is transferred from my mobile to this fixed line and I start using the fixed line. Which means I conserve on the spectrum. The spectrum is no longer used. As soon as I enter this room, I start using the fixed line and therefore the spectrum is conserved there and I get much better communication from the fixed network. It could be optical fiber, it could be copper cable, it could be anything. So this technology will also be exploited to ensure that spectrum is used more efficiently. Okay. One of the problems which has happened, which the Supreme Court intervened, was saying that you had enough spectrum, but you did not follow a fair and transparent policy while allotting the spectrum. You decided on something called a first come, first served, FCFS it is called, first come, first served principle, and just gave it to some vendors, and therefore that was one of the reasons why the Supreme Court cancelled the licenses, saying that you did not auction the spectrum. So in future they have decided that they will issue a license, but they will not give spectrum along with the license. The existing policy is that when you apply, when you pay some money, as part of that license fee, you are given spectrum also. Okay. In future, you will be only given a license. You will have to participate in some auction process to obtain the spectrum. So one is to ensure that transparent means are adopted for giving spectrum. The third is we find that with the growth of telecom, which we are anticipating, additional frequency bands will be required for telecom use. Okay, IMT stands for International Mobile Telecommunication Services. So there is a plan to release about 300 megahertz by 2017 and another 200. That means total of 500 megahertz by 2020. This much additional frequency will be available for use for telecom services by the telecom service providers, which the government will have to auction. Okay, this is a problem which all telecom service providers are in meeting now. There is right of way. That means when you want to lay a cable, whether it is optical fiber, copper cable, or even gas tube, you require a permission from the local bodies or from some or the village panchayat or whatever. For example, in Chennai, it will be the municipal corporation which gives permission for you to lay the cable. This is called the right of way. The Telegraph Act provides for that the corporation or something can only levy a fee but has to give permission. But now with the entry of private operators, since government is not the only sole provider of telecommunication services, they are putting several conditions which are a deterrent to this cable laying. One is it is expensive. They ask huge amount of money to lay the cable. The second is permissions are delayed. And third is some state governments have said you must give me a share of your capital expenditure. Whatever you have laid so far, a portion of that you give me as advance to me. That is, bulk money has to be paid in advance. In addition, they are saying that any number of connections which I ask for my offices within the state, you should give me free. You should not charge me. So they have passed laws in their legislatures, several state governments. So these are all hindrances today for the right of way. So centrally, we are thinking whether through some urban development ministry or something we can address these issues, ensure that all state governments follow these rules. Okay, another important factor is most of you may be reading in the newspapers also the the tower radiation is affecting the health of people. The mobile handset use is also affecting people or so. So both these issues have been partly addressed now. There was an interministerial committee which went into what are the problems, and then they have said the present level of radiation should be reduced by 1/10. That means it should be 10% of what you are doing now. Okay, that is one step which has been taken to ensure that radio waves in the atmosphere, their strength is low. The second is there is something called a specific absorption rate, SAR, in the mobile handset. So which when you are talking, your body absorbs some of these electromagnetic waves. So that SAR value, if it is high, then your body absorbs more electromagnetic waves. So that SAR value has also been reduced in par with the FCC, that is the US regulations. So both these factors together will ensure that the radiation in the atmosphere is low. Also that the radiation which you get into your body also reduces. So these two actions have been taken, and this will be a continuous process. When somebody comes up with some new development or some new finding that even this present radiation is harmful, then appropriate action will be taken to ensure that we further reduce this. There is green policy. This is, you will be surprised that after the transport industry, the telecommunication mobile industry consumes the maximum number of diesel, maximum amount of diesel. This is because in the rural areas as well as in the cities, you will find that there is power cut. In some of the villages, 24 hours there is no power supply, or there is power supply for 2 hours, 4 hours. So the remaining time to ensure that his tower is up, he runs it on diesel.